Not saying that your husband should slap you down, but if your husband slaps you down and you call the cops, you're evil.
So this is Pastor Steve Anderson, who has a very popular belief within Christian fundamentalism that a woman should not call the cops on her husband, even if he's abusing her. She should not divorce him if he's abusing her. And this is John Anderson, Steve Anderson's son, talking about the first time he remembers his father beating his mother.
And I remember it was Easter Sunday, and we were all standing out in the front yard dressed up, and I could hear it happening for the first time.
And again, this is very popular in Christian fundamentalism and Christian nationalism. So they rely heavily on the Old Testament, which only allowed for a man to get divorced and could get divorced for any reason, leaving the woman impoverished most of the time. It was Jesus who changed the parameters of divorce to protect women. But Christian fundamentalists at a core level do not believe a woman should be able to vote. They believe her husband should vote for her. They do not believe a woman should be hell-bent on pursuing education because they believe a woman should get married young, have kids young, and support and serve her husband, even though this puts her at risk for elder poverty later on. They do not believe in female bodily autonomy. They do not believe in marital rape, and they do not believe on a core value about consent because women have no agency. Your virginity and your body belongs to your father until it is given to your husband later on. But they can't come out and say these things because they wouldn't get the vote. So we see this politically in different ways. No fault divorce, which they were very clear in Project 2025 they're going to get rid of. They can't come out and say they're going to get rid of it. Women would push back. So what do? They get rid of the resources that help women leave abusive husbands. SNAP benefits, Medicaid, Medicare, social services, even domestic violence shelters. Even in Oklahoma, they're getting rid of domestic violence shelters to put women in positions where they can't leave. Things like voting. They're not going to come out and say you can't vote. They're going to pass the SAVE Act, which means you have to get a passport they know most women don't have. She might not have access to resources to be able to buy it. It's a poll tax for married women to be able to vote. And even in the political spectrum, because they need women's free labor in order to push their agenda, they need women's votes, but they can't exclude women entirely. So they strategically place women like Caroline Leavitt, Kristi Noem, so that women think, oh, we're included in this movement. What those women are, they are the spoonful of sugar that helps a bitter medicine go down, that these people on a core level believe that you are less than men. They do not believe in women's equality. They do not believe in marital rape. They do not believe in consent, which is why they don't necessarily care about having abortion exceptions for rape and incest, because they still believe at a core level it's the woman's fault, it's a man's entitlement, and that a woman's body belongs to men. And remember that marriage counseling within the Christian community was founded by Paul Popenoe, who was an atheist, a white supremacist, and a eugenicist. And the only people that were radical enough to latch onto his ideas were evangelical pastors. And he taught them to teach that white women should never marry out of their race. They should not get divorced for any reason, that birth control was evil and against God's will. And he mentored James Dobson, who is the father of Christian family counseling.